Hello and welcome to episode 5 of our Timberborn Update 6 Emberpelts hard mode playthrough here in Cycle 7, Day 3. Last time, we finally got our horseshoe area here mostly clean water. It's still not entirely clean, but it's substantially cleaner than it's been. I think for right now we can go ahead and pause this fluid dump to make sure we don't waste any more water. But today we've got a lot of stuff we can do based on your comments and some other ideas that I had for what we're going to be working on. Starting with unplanting all of these birch trees up here. Because remember, this was just emergency trees. Once we grow and cut these down, I'm going to replace them with some oaks. Because these ones on top here shouldn't, I repeat, shouldn't, not won't, but shouldn't end up poisoned by bad water during the next bad tide. These guys down here, I'm also going to unplant all of these oaks because we're going to regrow these. Nope, not that. Not that. What is that? A beet? That needs to still be a thing. We're going to regrow these as apple trees we can actually pick. And this guy right here, this birch tree, once that's cut down, I'm going to have to remember to put a gatherer flag in there so we can start, well, gathering all of these apples off these apple trees. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to do, and you guys have given me some good comments, as you always do, and we're going to tackle them bit by bit. First off, we do have these presses to re-enable, which I will go ahead and take care of right now. We do need to have a mechanism, I love that sound, to do some more canola oil, so we will get to building those at some point soon. But again, stuff just takes time. I would like to turn our attention to this little thing here. I think this would be a great place to put a water dump and a couple of levees so we could have a nice irrigation station for growing some trees down here. And a couple of you guys suggested something to some varying degree of that in the comments. So I think what we're going to want to do, we obviously don't want to irrigate this entire thing here because that's just going to be a lot of water evaporating for no reason. But I think probably right about here in the middle, maybe here, and then, or something to, actually, you know what? No, we can actually be smart. We can use our brains. It's not that hard, despite what you may see me doing here. Yeah, we can just put in some of these guys here, and we have a nice 3x3 space with which to irrigate. So that'll be the easy thing to do right there. Just get that nice and hooked up. And in fact, depending on how this is laid out, it might actually make more sense. Yeah, it absolutely is going to make more sense. Just make this completely straight here. Then use the power of technology to clear this out. All of this mess. And once this is irrigated, then a pretty decent portion of space, maybe about, say, here or so, will be usable to grow some trees. And eventually, once we get a little bit further into the technology tree and having more resources, then we can go ahead and start blocking this off or utilizing other space as we may see fit. This might not be exactly what everybody who was talking about this in the comments is envisioning, but I know for a fact this is going to work and it's going to be super helpful. So we're just going to let them do that as one does. And yes, we do have a lot of stuff to fix over here. And yes, I do hear you. Everyone saying that we desperately need to fix that alignment. There you go. I know it's not perfect, but it's going to work out just fine for right now. A lot of you, varying states of irritated about how much stuff we have built on the Greenland. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. We're going to be just fine. We're going to slowly migrate things away as we continue doing everything we're supposed to be doing. I did see a comment saying that we need to have a tooth grindstone, and I actually don't know if we have one. So, yeah, you know what? Looks like we basically just have the campfire, so let's put one of those in a spot that's not going to be super, super out of the way, but also not going to take up irrigable land, which right here seems to be a pretty good choice. Just got to make sure that gets constructed. Again, we are very low on resources, especially wood, so we can't build everything all at once. It seems like some people don't understand that, but we're going to do our best. Got a lot of comments saying that I somehow missed an enormous quantity of trees, which I guess technically, but at the time we didn't have that easy of a mechanism to get down there, and then of course we built this. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We just have to, again, do it, you know? I'm not completely stupid. A little stupid, yeah, probably. But at this point, honestly, who isn't? Probably most of you guys leaving those comments aren't. And that's why you're leaving them, and that's why I'm the one that has to read them. But I digress. Put a couple of lumberjack flags in hopefully a spot that's going to allow them to get every single tree. Yeah, it's probably going to have to be what we end up going with. Actually, no, I should have that go here so that they can still reach everything. Nope, that is not the right button. There we go. Everything is a process, like we've said many, many times before. But these trees are only about a quarter of the way through their growth cycle, so we're going to have to let that just be what it's going to be. We have this lumberjack that can jack some lumber just as soon as it's ready to go. Not quite there yet. Not quite there. We can clean up some of these paths a little bit. We'll just go ahead and make that nice and straight, or the autosave lag can completely remove all of that progress. There we go. Get these out of here. That's going to give us a little bit more space to grow some crops. Not that we really need to grow anything else right now. I honestly feel like it's still not enough in terms of farm labor. I know that is driving a couple of you insane seeing this few farmhouses. But again, limited resources, limited beavers. We're working with what we've got. Not a crazy amount of stuff that we're actually able to get away with doing at this exact moment. So hopefully you can understand that. I'm going to plant a couple more radishes over here because we are still in the process of turning radishes and beets into radish and beet juice, as one does. And this press here. And yeah, there's a massive overhaul that needs to be done with how this whole thing is laid up. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Don't worry. I know the housing right here is also not ideal. But again, it just takes time. Gotta trust the process. We also have all these other types of housing to unlock. But our science situation, I think, is going to be much better spent on improving industry first rather than housing. Because we can always just build more of these things. It's not like it's that big of a deal. The regular lodge is 12 logs, holds 3 beavers. This one's 20 logs and holds 6. Okay, yeah, we save 4 logs. But then we have to spend the science that we could otherwise spend on other things. Now this guy's cool. The Tenement Lodge. We've already talked about that a little bit because it has the 2 doorways. So you can kind of create a little bridge between 2 of these if you feel like it, like we did in our live stream playthrough. But again, we have so many things to unlock here that are really going to... oh, this is new. The Phoenix Distillery. That's a... huh. Oh, I guess that's for the pods. Yeah, okay. Okay, that was something that was changed there. At some point, probably not recently, I'm probably behind on that, but at some point that was changed. I don't know if we want to go straight for a monument. I mean, definitely not right now because we only have 5 logs, but you know what it is. Yeah, and I know most of our logs are going to build these levees, but growing trees is always in style. Probably should prioritize this staircase, though, just so that can be a thing. We can do everything possible to make that happen. In light of what's happening right now, I will go ahead and pause the lumber mill so we don't, you know, chew up any more logs. Well, I guess strictly speaking, we're not chewing them. We're putting them through a lumber mill. But you get the idea. And now we put this thing on at turbo speed, let them make some progress here. Water stocks continue to increase. Food stocks continue to increase. If you're not used to seeing these green up arrows and red down arrows, that is a mod that I recently installed called Goods Statistics. which is a really cool thing that gives you an idea as to the trends of your different resources. Gives you estimated time to fill your current storage, time to depletion based on current usage statistics. It's just really, really cool. So shout out to Disturbed Simulations, fellow Timberborn YouTuber, for pointing that out to me. But yeah, I think this is really going to help. The Apocalypse mode playthrough absolutely has already yielded huge dividends for me. But, you know, it's nice to have that stuff. It's pretty neat, pretty cool stuff. So hopefully they'll get this staircase finished soon, and then we have all of this wood here to take care of. We'll continue building these levees here, and then hopefully soon we'll have a lovely, lovely oak forest down here that we can just kind of leave alone for a while, and then once it grows, take care of the stuff as we need to, and so on and so forth. We do have access through here with this slope. During a drought probably would be the best time to do this, but to come down here and kind of wall this off so we don't have the contamination quite nearly as bad. And then eventually, once we get to that point where we have metal, we can build contamination barriers all over the place. And yeah, the next drought we get is probably going to be the time that we end up actually doing something with the metal, because we can pretty easily have the beavers walk over here and just start disassembling things. We're just not quite there yet. The bigger thing that this is why I'm trying not to do triple speed as much. I saw a couple comments on last episode. See, there we go. Like, play on triple speed, you're just padding for time. No, I'm not. You watch these videos. I get distracted super easily, and then if it's on triple speed, you can have like an entire day or 2 days go before you have any idea that you missed something. Like, no, bad things are going to happen. Let's not do that. So, unfortunately, 3 days left to pump water is not enough time for us to make another 27 planks and have this other medium tank ready to go. But since it is a drought and not a bad tide we're about to get, we can just, keep pumping this until such time as we decide that it's no longer beneficial to do so because it's going to start polluting things. And that time may be a little quicker than we think or would care for, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be fine. Now I just want to make sure, water-wise, I mean, our population's still small enough where we're not going to have a huge quantity of water stored up. But it's definitely going to be in our benefit to have as much storage available as possible. And unfortunately, I don't really think that's a thing right now. I am going to go ahead and turn on the rest of these pumps and pause a couple of other buildings just so we can have bodies actually, pumping water. Because the pumps do still have some internal storage. It's not a lot, but they do still have it. And that's going to increase our total yield a little bit. Even just ever so slightly. But remember, small population means we really don't need that much water unless this is a super, super long drought, which, is always possible, but let's hope it's not. Also, probably a good time to remind everybody that we do have automated water pumps available for the Emberpelts faction, and that's something that I definitely wanted to get into, but again, it's resources that we don't currently have. We're working on it. That's why we're building tree farms. That's why we're taking care of this other stuff. But these guys, obviously, they're automated. They don't have to be manned or beavered or whatever. And they take 75 HP. We could put beavers on the beard wheel if you didn't watch the Apocalypse mode video that I posted yesterday. It is a name suggested by one of our channel viewers, Beaver Exercise and Rotary Device Wheel. I just thought that was fun. But we can put some beavers on there, and then they will be able to turn this. It's actually going to be a much more efficient way of getting water, because not only is this faster than the regular water pump, every 4/10 of an hour you get 2 water, versus every 1/3 of an hour you get 1 water. Since this isn't manned, it runs constantly if power is available. So if you have water wheels, you can use the water wheels to turn the thing that takes the water out of the space that is turning the water wheel. So it's one of those other kind of fry your brain in a frying pan kind of things. But it's going to be just so much better, and it's 75 HP, so 4 of these can very comfortably be powered by the large power wheel, the large beard wheel, the large whatever you want to call it wheel, and that's pretty cool. That's really going to help us out a whole lot. Obviously, the end goal for this is still to, you know, cap these bad water sources or divert them accordingly, and have the ability to have some nice, clean water that we would absolutely love to take advantage of. I think probably damming this up would be a smart move, because this water can all go off the back. And obviously having access to this space as clean water storage, or even just dry land, is very, very ideal. But it's quite a journey to get up here, and that's not going to happen anytime soon, friends. Just going to have to bide our time and do whatever we can do. Yeah, so our water storage right now is full. I do not have any more logs with which to make more storage, so, you know, it is what it is. But this is out of beaten radish juice, so guess what? Now it's water storage, and suddenly we have an extra 30 storage, because these guys have been paused. So that's all fun and exciting, and we can continue working on some other things as time and availability warrant. Probably, depending on how this is going to end up drought-wise, the length, we may not want to focus on building this first. We may want to let them... Why haven't they... Ah, they don't have planks. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. This is now a super important thing for us to do, to make additional planks so I can have that staircase. I'm going to make the executive decision to pause this, and pause this, and pause this, and pause this, because you never know what they can actually reach. Well, actually, you should know exactly what they're able to reach, but apparently I don't know how the game works, so that's fine. We're going to divert all of our log power to do this stuff, make a couple planks, which I really should have done earlier, but you know how it goes. So why... Alright, look, you got broken... Why was... Okay, I didn't... Alright. I deserve everything that has ever happened to me in my life. Let's go ahead and knock that down. We need... I don't know why it lets beavers still work as lumberjacks when they have broken teeth. That should be an automatic disqualifier like any other injury. But, yeah, just stop that. Just stop that. It's such a debuff. It's such a debuff. It's minus 75%. No, 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 no. It's like your aircraft mechanic going to buy tools at... Okay, we're not going there. The guy who keeps the plane in the air, you better hope he's got good quality stuff. That's all I'm saying. I don't need to specifically malign any particular establishment or brand. But, if you do something professionally, make sure the stuff you use is of reputable quality and precision. Moving on. Yeah, the logs here are going to help us make all this other stuff happen. So let's go ahead and... you know what? Just super high priority. Come and get it. You know how it goes. That was supposed to be a 3. I hit 2 instead. It's fine. Just build the stairs. Just build the stairs. As soon as this grindstone's in place, then nobody can have broken teeth. Well, I mean, they still can, but it's not going to be quite as much of an absolute disaster as the only beavers cutting things having broken teeth. Yeah, see, there we go. Now look at this. Look at this. We got all these trees. We can go grab those real quick. That's going to be super, super helpful, because I literally cannot build any more storage for water until we have other stuff figured out. And yes, we are eventually going to move all of our storage as soon as I can build more storage, because I'm not going to demolish it until I can build something else. And we're going to move all this stuff elsewhere, move all of these lodges elsewhere, move these things elsewhere. It just all takes time. Yes, look at these guys running all over the place. And now they actually have some room to keep pumping. Take care of all that good stuff. I'm going to start replanting these as oak trees. And then I think eventually I do want to have this path come through here instead of going all the way around. Somebody left a comment saying that there's a much better way to path this. And probably, I'm sure there is, but you know, for right now, I think this is fine. We're not in any danger of actually losing or killing beavers or any of that stuff. We're just trying to get things accomplished here. We gotta allow the process to be the process. Just make sure stuff can get planted. I got these guys ready to go. There we go. Obviously, these apple trees need to be picked, and now we have a gatherer flag to do just that. Alright, the 7-day drought we can definitely live with. I'm going to go ahead and say... let's just leave one beaver pumping. And this is eventually going to stop, but I am going to keep the... Oh, never mind. Stopped. Alright, so now that's no longer a viable job thing, and neither is any of this stuff. 912 water will absolutely last us 7 days, and no worries there. Now we can focus on just getting some wood, get these things cleared out, and start making some progress. Or I guess continue making some progress to optimize everything else here. Obviously, it would be great to have large warehouses and underground warehouses and all that stuff. But again, it takes resources that we don't have yet. We can't just do late game stuff immediately. Remember, this is episode 5. So instead, and I'd said a whole bunch of different things that I don't even remember at this point as for what we're going to do next, but it's going to be smart for us to utilize our clay pit and get into a kiln here pretty soon so that we can have bricks and we can have charcoal, because charcoal gets used with engines. Well, when you get to the full-size engine. We don't even have metal yet, but we can still make a small engine if we have 10 planks, which we do, 20 logs, which we do, and 12 clay, which we don't. But that is easily fixed by getting some beavers here in the clay pit. And then remember what I said about wanting to use our science for smart things? The small engine would be a very good choice, because that's going to allow us to have continuous power without relying on water, and we can put it pretty much anywhere, which also means we can take this stuff away from like the corner of the colony, and we can move over here, and we can keep this wheel in place right here for the specific purpose of using the automated water pumps, which of course are going to require more gears and more planks, and that's stuff we can do during this drought just by utilizing the technologies available to us. Isn't it nice when you actually think while playing a game? I know, what a concept. But let's go ahead and unlock this small engine. And this is a cool building, because not only is it cheaper and easier to build as a smaller footprint, and it still has 3 sides worth of power output just like everything else in the larger engine, and then the liquid fuel engine, but that's way, way down the road. So I think this really dry area here is probably going to be our best bet for an industrial area for the time being. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in... you know what? I don't think it really matters, to be perfectly honest with you. Just kind of pick a spot, and that's going to get built. And then lumber mills. We have the large lumber mills, which I think I kind of talked about a little bit in the first episode. But basically, this is half again as big as the normal lumber mill, produces the lumber twice as fast at a marginally higher power consumption. So it's just way more efficient. Same thing with the large gear workshop, except... oh, actually, no, that was fixed. That now is 120 HP. It used to be 120, so I guess that's fine. It's supposed to be that way, but it used to be 120. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, half again as much power, and then over here in Metal Land, which we haven't gotten into yet, the smelter has the exact same thing going on. Just technically same efficiency per beaver, but it's in a smaller space and uses less power. So again, like I said, this will help us out a lot. I'm not going to unlock these big ones yet, because the large lumber mill requires planks, which we don't technically have enough of when you consider that we have to build this as well. Plus, we're not to that point yet. So, we have the opportunity to kind of decide how we're going to have stuff laid out here. We have a shaft here, we have a shaft here, we have a shaft here. If we're not firmly wedded to any particular style of building here, I think it's probably going to be smart for us to just go ahead and say, all right, we'll do some lumber mills there, and then turn this into just a straight power shaft. Because if/when we replace this with a regular size engine, then all that will happen is these 3 squares here will get occupied by a building, and then we just remove this power shaft. We don't have to touch anything else. I think that's the smartest way to do it. But yeah, 2 of these things are going to help us out tremendously. And then, of course, we have to have some gear workshops as well. Just as a math reminder, or whatever my brain can actually process here, one of these logs every 1.3 hours gives us 1 plank. And in the gear workshop, 1 plank takes 3 hours to get turned into a gear. So I think the ratio is, it's not exactly, but it's like 2 to 1 and then 5 to 2 or something in terms of how many lumber mills to gear workshops you want to have. And still have a little bit left over. So I don't want to build on this because it is green land. Not that we really need to, try to make the most of all of that. But I will go ahead and put a gear workshop down here. And then we do need to be mindful of how much power these are using. The lumber mills are 50 each, and the gear workshop is 120. So that is going to give us 220 total. And this guy puts out 250. So, for right now, that's perfectly fine. This will be absolutely more than enough to get us going over here during the rest of this drought, and I think that's going to be pretty achievable. And since we're on the subject of trying to claw back space from all of our nonsense here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in some industrial piles over here. Obviously, since this runs on the logs, we're going to need logs. We also need logs to have stuff to make with the lumber mills, and then we have to have plank storage for the gears, and then storage for the gears. Wow, this isn't making sense at all. My brain is absolutely fried, but that's, I think, okay. I think it's okay. We're doing our best. Doing our best, folks. We'll get all this built. This, of course, is going to be for the finished gears. This could be for plank storage, and then I think we're going to want to have... wait a second. How long have these held? 200. Oh, no, I'm just... Wait, what am I seeing here? Oh, that's my total capacity. I thought that was the capacity of the building. Like, that's not what that holds. It's 180, and it's always been 180. Anyway, 2 storages for planks, because planks are both a product of these 2 and what goes into this one here. So that will replace these guys here. So, actually, you know what? There's probably nowhere for this to go, so I don't have to worry about it, and we're not making anything over here anyway, but these will get removed. These will get removed, and then we still have plenty of science, but I do want to go ahead and unlock the automated water pumps. And then, since these aren't going to be used again right now, just get rid of this. And we have to decide where these are going to go. Remember, they're not manned, but they do have to be emptied. So we don't want to put them way off in the middle of nowhere. Just have to be careful about how we put things in. So the logical thing to do would be to maybe start in a place like right here, since that's directly touching the wheel and kind of in the same general area. And then think about if there's any way to reasonably get everything to touch here without it being super crazy. I think if we're smart with this, I can get away with putting a power shaft turn in here, and then I can put, oh, come on. I can put one of these pumps here, and then I can put this other one exactly where this guy is. So let's go ahead and remove that. And there we go. That's going to be a tremendous help. This already, these two by themselves, every 4/10 of an hour we will get 4 water. So basically, every 10th of an hour we get 1 water, every hour we get 10 water. Versus having previously had 5 of these, one of these pumps in an hour would have given us 3 water. We have 5 of them, so that would be 15. But that also requires the labor of 5 beavers, whereas this is fully automated and just requires the haulers to come in and get it out, which currently we have 6 of those guys. And those numbers could possibly go up as we move into this new automated water era. I guess we could say that. The other advantage to doing this way is, you know what, actually, we don't need to have this power shaft turn here because copyrighted song, press can go here. And we're already going to need to move these anyway. So I think, you know what, no, let's not get too complicated. Let's not get cute here. We don't want to rely on this to be a power bridge, as it were. We want to make sure we're being kind of intelligent with this, at the very least. So we'll get that prioritized by haulers. Should be good. Have we cut down most? Wow, we haven't even cut down like half of these. Okay. Well, that's fine. I think I want this to be up and running first, but we can think about getting these guys going as well when that time comes. Okay, so this is dried out. That was not my finest moment ever, because now all of our crops are going to dry out. Okay, all right, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. Okay, well, I guess we got to dump, which is a shame because this is going to take some time to get over here. And yeah, the canola is a big old crybaby and always dies immediately if there's no water. So, hooray! I managed to completely mismanage my crops again for like the 5th time in a row. Yeah, I know it's going to take a while. I'm going to pause this one because this one's actually connected to power here. Oh, the other thing to kind of consider here is that I need to have probably long-term more than one of these wheels. This does generate a pretty considerable amount of power. But before we get too far, we're going to want to put another one of these in. I don't think for right now we're going to need it. But just something to keep in mind. These two combined will draw 100 and... Wait, no they won't. No, they won't. Yeah, they will. 150 HP. And I think this was making about 220, 230. So, like, it's fine. But we also have these guys here as well. So, you know, just simple, easy stuff. Put in a couple of these. We haven't unlocked platforms yet, but, again, we have plenty of science. So, let's go ahead and just do that. Make this happen as it needs to. We can continue putting additional automated pumps just kind of around here as we continue working all this stuff. Let's pause. That's the correct button. Good job. Good job. Get all this stuff ready to go. Hey, we're working over here. Nice. Very good. Let's empty. And empty. That's already empty. Goodbye. Empty. Empty. Then we have all that stuff on the ground. Hey, did we... no, we did not. We saved 0 canola. This is all regrowing. Well, this is why we have the fluid dump. That's why we have it there. So, you know, not really the worst thing that's ever happened to this playthrough. Definitely not, but it's fine. All right, these guys here need to be unmarked for cutting. I think that hopefully is fine. We did have apples, but they ate them, so that's it's just the way it is, just the way it goes. Hopefully though, we'll be in decent shape. Continuing to move stuff. I said I was going to plant additional. What did I say? It was going to go here, radishes, but we have full storage, so maybe I don't want to plant radishes there. But I also don't need more beets. I think once we actually have these squashers going again, that's not what they're called, presses, then we can kind of reevaluate what we're looking at. But see, these are now good to go here. This is empty. This is empty. This is almost empty. Soon it will be empty. But look at us go. We got these 3 guys operating. I guess we can just prioritize by haulers here. Very, very lovely stuff happening. We are going to do kilns at some point so we can have charcoal, but we don't quite need it yet. In fact, we probably should get a couple more beavers since we're in kind of a slightly precarious position. Hey, remember when I said we were going to have metal because we could have the beavers walk across here? And then it became, like, immediately too late for us to do that? Yeah, me too. Good times. I'm going to go ahead, now that that's all built, get this going. Hopefully they can still construct all that. And yeah, we got to make a decision about where we're putting houses. It's probably the next logical thing to do. I'm generally a fan of having housing be pretty close to food and water supplies for the beavers to drink and eat from. But we haven't done that yet, so that's a good excuse to move things around in addition to, you know, getting more planting space. But we got to decide where we're going to be placing things. This, for right now at least, this is going to be a decent industrial area. I'm not opposed to making something that's not incredibly beautiful looking, so long as it's functional. But I also don't want to just tear stuff down for the sake of tearing it down because it needs to be torn down. Like, I need to know what we're doing to replace it before we get too terribly occupied with ourselves here. And honestly, for the amount of beavers that we have right now, this is totally fine. This is complete overkill for food supply. But we want more beavers, and we need better storage, which is part of the reason I thought my computer was going to crash just then, and that was not going to be fun. But we're good. We're good. We're still here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we have the planks and stuff. This is going to be contributing to us being able to make the larger storages, the denser storages, and starting to stack things, because we do have ladders. And it's not like we're really wanting for space here, but eventually we're going to want to take advantage of the vertical building, and we're going to want to have access to these tops of these cliffs and everything. We could even, over here, we could even have the housing be in this spot and just have beavers walking all over the place. I don't know, but I don't have a better solution for it right now, so I'm not inclined to change anything until I know for sure what it is that's going to make more sense. No reason to rush through things. But there is a reason for us to get this automated water pump up and running as soon as we can. And that needs more gears, so I'm hoping that this ends up being a little bit of a faster process. I know it's 3 hours per gear, but I don't have the beavers to run 5 plank things and 2 gear workshops at the same time. It's just not really ideal. Not really working out too terribly fantastic like that. But it's fine. It's fine. We're doing all right. The big thing is we need to get these other trees planted, so I'm hoping that this can be a little bit of a quicker thing. But here we go. We got cycle 8, which means we're going to get some nice, lovely, clean water in. And other fun stuff, since this completely dried out, this is now 100% clean and clear fresh water. So this will be the maximum irrigation we can get out of this pretty much. As it gets a little higher, it might have a little bit more range, but this is about what we're looking at. I do want to fill this in a little bit, do a similar thing with the levees to kind of section off an area. But again, we're not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. All these logs on the ground. Let's prioritize getting this area cleaned up. And we do have this compact water wheel that we will need eventually, but don't necessarily have to have right now. I think there might be a couple of gears down on the ground here. Maybe? Yeah, okay, well there's one. Gear. Yeah, that's definitely going to help us out. Alright, so yeah, it's a little bit of a letdown, but hey. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I just need these guys to finish this. I kind of want to, well, I really shouldn't until this is finished. But yeah, getting actual trees planted is going to be choice. That's going to be super, super important. And if I had the, if I had the desire to use a whole bunch more materials, I could just put platforms here so that we're not taking up any plantable space. But it's not that serious. This is hard mode, but hey, if we can survive, I almost called it nightmare mode. That was a different playthrough. We can survive apocalypse mode. Hard mode's fine. Not going to be any problems. I am much more concerned with having the automated water pump up and running. But we haven't... Oh, no, never mind. Here comes the water. Now we're generating. So we should see this, I think, come back up to about 220, 230. As everything starts pouring in, we don't have all of the good water yet, because that's coming in behind this. Yeah, we got to get rid of that too, but that's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. It is interesting to watch this go in different surges, though. I thought it was a lot higher than that. I know we did leave a little bit, lose a little bit. Man, I am absolutely spent once we finish recording this video. Busy day, but I'm pretty sure this was contributing mightily to our power production. It might have been higher than what it can be now, but this is going to be enough. Even as it is now at about 140, 150, it's going to be enough to power those two. Plus, when we have these others, actually finished, that's going to help a lot. All right, now I have 12 vacancies because I have all these jobs we added, but I know 6 of those are here, so that's fine. We don't have anybody in the hauling post. Oops, that's a problem we got to fix. Grilled bell peppers. I know we aren't currently producing the canola oil because these are orphaned right now. They're going to be... You know what? Let's just go ahead and get rid of these. Because they're going to have gears in there as well we can use to get this thing up and running. But yeah, we have to move the food production down here as well, and that's something that we are going to have to do sooner rather than later. Once we have metal, we can have this engine that makes 500 HP instead of the 400 it does in the base game. I think it's probably going to make more sense for us to just build another one of these engines on the other side here. Depending on how we want to have this up. Again, it's not that dire. It's hard mode. It's not apocalypse mode. It's not nightmare mode. It's not instant death mode. We just have to be able to generate power. So this just has to be connected to somewhere else, and then we have to be able to put in additional presses. I think for what we're looking at right now, having a press here and a press here is probably fine. And then we just put in, until we have to remove it, we put in another small engine right here. Just like that. They'll just connect nicely to each other. Remember, these all share power. It's not water beavers. It's not water beavers, so it's not painful. It's not suffering. We'll just do that. I will earmark this space for these guys, but leave it on pause. And then we can have a couple of small tanks just right here we can use for canola oil. And honestly, canola oil. Just canola oil. Because we do need to have a little bit of storage for that. But that will come later, once we have everything else taken care of. Biggest priority now is, first of all, did we get this up and running? We did not, because we're waiting on gears. Well, there's still gears on the ground, so let's prioritize this. And get them to come grab everything else. I think, given what we're working on here, I think we can pause all of these things. Get a couple more beavers back working so we can have some of the hauling post. And then get that thing built. Did we harvest all the trees? No, there's still a couple left. Alright, well that's fine. We're going to have some more beavers sooner rather than later. But we're far enough into this episode now where I feel like it's probably prudent to ask you guys where you would like to see housing built. So we can tear this down next episode and build something that's going to make sense and something you guys want to see. So do let me know. Where do you think we should put the housing? I mean, we have tons of space over here. I don't think this is a great location for housing necessarily. But there is space there. There's space down here. There's space over here. We could build it on top of food storage. Probably not a bad thing to be doing. We do have ladders. We have the ability to go vertical a little bit, although we do have a ton of land, so it seems like kind of a shame to immediately just start building super, super tall. But hey, sometimes that's fun. So let me know what you think. We're not going to do anything about that right now, but we are going to be thinking about it. Now, I need this thing to get built immediately. We have gears. We have gears. I think... Oh, hey, here we go. There we go. We're carrying boxes with gears in them. That's always fun. All right, so automated water pumping. Automated water pumping. Yeah, yeah. Come on, come on. We are very low. We're very low on water, folks. And it's day 3. Day 3. Oh, I know. I'm gonna get absolutely flamed for having this happen. Why can I never remember where the P key is? All right. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to get these beavers in here actually pumping water. It just absolutely has to happen. We can't wait any longer. Even if this is just about done, we're going to be in some deep stuff if we don't have adequate water before the next drought or bad tide. So remember, this area right here is powerable, but I think... unless there's something else that's going to be using power to make a food item that is not a press, because we are going to move those closer to where the food storage actually is eventually when we get there. It probably makes more sense, honestly, to put in tanks here. I know we have the large tanks and we have the underground tanks that are all awesome, but again, it's a quantity of materials we do not readily have access to. So I will go ahead and put this other medium tank here. Set that to supply, because we need to have the capacity. We have to have it. I don't know what these jokers haven't gotten these last 2 gears over here. Come on, come on. What are you guys doing, man? Bring me the gears. This thing will do all of your job for you. Good. Good, very good. Prioritized by haulers immediately. Like, look how nice it is that this is just fully automated now. And it's making almost 200 HP. That's good, because this guy is not yet finished. Not yet ready to go. Somehow this is still like the slowest construction project in the history of mankind. Because it's really far away. I know. It's fine. It's fine. I'm pretty sure bad tides shouldn't reach too much further down here, so let's plant a couple more apple trees. Make sure those are no longer marked for cutting. These are not all oaks. Now they are. Those are marked for cutting. These birches need to be unmarked for planting. Let's go ahead and do that. Those can get cut down and then replaced with something else. It's a process. It's a slow process. But it's a process nonetheless. And I don't see any apples here, so in our time of need, we're going to once again miss the P key. We're going to pause the gather flag and send a beaver to go pump some water. Still no haulers. What else can I pause? I mean, I guess I could pause farms, but I kind of don't want to get in the habit of doing that because then we're going to run out of food. But we also have full storage right now, so there we go. 3 more beavers. We have a couple in the hauling post now, which is good progress there. Do I have enough to build this automated water pump? Do I have gears on the ground here? No, I have radishes. Oh, no, I do have 4 gears, 3 more gears, and 4 more gears. All right. Automated water pump. It's going to be our best friend. Get that thing built. I say to the beavers who are very obviously overwhelmed with the other things going on, and we still don't have this done. Still don't have it done. But like I said, getting water is the most important thing, and we do have all 5 of these manually pumping. We have this one automatically pumping. And at some point soon, we're going to have haulers come out and take this with them, which is nice. We unfortunately still don't have any more water storage because, of course, we don't. Everything takes time. But we're in a better position than we were at the start of the episode, and that is always the goal. Always the goal. Even if the progress is slow, we're still making progress, still making stuff happen. It's about all you can ask for. We are not, however, currently making additional gears or planks because I have everybody pumping. So that's a whole thing. This not having power at the same time the water becomes basically unpumpable is not an issue, so I'm not worried about that. Just need to get this thing up and running here. I think we might have enough gears to build this without having to make any more. But I guess we'll find out. No harm in doing that. Definitely have enough planks. Okay, we just ran dry of gears here. Let's see where that puts us once everybody gets their stuff placed down. There are still gears there. So we got 7. Yeah, we got 11 gears on the ground. This has 17 out of 30. And I think that's probably about it. So yeah, that will get us almost, frustratingly, almost all the way there. But running this for a little bit, another day, will give us the rest of the gears that we need. And will give us automated water pumping again. Oh boy, it's bad tide time. That's going to be fun. Yes, we'll go ahead and end the episode at the start of this this bad tide here, but I do want to try our best to get this other automated pump up and running. The good news is we're going to have our water wheels turning, but the bad news is it's going to be all completely bad water. So, yeah. Going to be totally useless. So it's next 3 days, really important to pump water, folks. Really, really important, because this could be a long one. All right, now that makes me feel a little bit better. Let's get this medium tank built immediately. We have all the materials, just got to do it. Just got to do it. Get that storage up and running. I don't know if I'm going to have time to build another medium tank. We do not have one over here, because I think I got rid of it to get parts to make something else. I love it when that happens. Not really. But yeah, that's gonna be hopefully something they can build today. Maybe. Go ahead and just pause this. Get those beavers back out being haulers or anything else. Well, this is filled up quite nicely. A little bit quicker than I thought too, which is nice. Yeah, now we just need another 14 planks. I know we've got those things. They just have to have the builders come up here and actually build it. And the current storage isn't full, which is fine. But hey, now that's ready to go. And that's exciting. And we have enough materials left to go ahead and build another one. Because I know that's our favorite thing ever. So come one, come all. Build it, and we'll see what happens next. Okay, this is all just canola seeds and stuff on the ground. Total capacity now of 1140, which is a lot better than 840. But it really, really would be nice to have that extra capacity here, especially because we haven't really got a great solution for irrigating this yet. I know we could just section this off with additional levees. I think for right now this is probably fine. The longest drought, bad tide that we can get, I think, is 30 days? 29 days? 30 days? Somewhere in there. Oh, actually, I have this on my other monitor in my little notes thing. Hard is 15 to 30 day drought duration. Bad tide duration is also 15 to 30. Cool. Nice. Sometimes it pays to take notes. Yeah, 0.7 days. Obviously, we are still going to have another day and a half-ish before it's completely toxic water coming out of this. So, if we can start the bad tide with around 1,100 water stored, I think I could be pretty happy with that. Just going to depend on what these guys can do. So let's pause this other... Come on, P key. Pause all of these things. Get some more beavers in the hauling post. Improve all of this nonsense. And I think that's going to be it's going to be about as far as we can realistically go without this being finished here. So that's going to be the end of this episode, folks. Let's go ahead and do our I say mandatory recognition. I don't want you to make that like interpretation that that's a chore. No, it's mandatory because these people deserve to be recognized, not because I feel like I have to do it out of whatever. Beard boosters make all this stuff possible. Genuinely. Cannot spend the amount of time that I do on YouTube without their support. It really, really helps me out a whole lot personally and makes it possible for me to invest the time into the channel that I currently do and future exciting stuff as well. Got some more merch ideas I'm trying to think of and getting into some new games, some new fun stuff in 2025 as we are sitting here currently on the 14th, 2 weeks into the year. But yeah, I really appreciate you. Even if your name's not on that list, you being here is more than enough, and I'm glad we get to share this time with each other. But we're not quite finished yet because we do still have half a day. Let's get them powered through the rest of this here. We now have a total storage of about 1440. And I don't know that they're going to get that completely filled up, but they had the opportunity to do so, and that's probably fine. That's probably enough. We are going to end with over 1,000, though, which is nice. Just depends on how long this bad tide's going to be, because we might be in trouble. Okay, 13 days. We'll be just fine. We got food. We've got water. We have a very small population still. It is not normally something that happens in my playthroughs. Outside of the Apocalypse mode one, which I guess that's not a normal playthrough either, so I guess that's fine. But we're in good shape, folks. We're making incremental progress without trying to rush through stuff to the point where I get confused and bad things happen because I'm not a perfect person. Nobody is. Don't let anybody tell you they're a perfect person because they're lying to you. We're all human. We all have flaws, but that's what makes it fun, right? The thrill of the risk. Possibly killing off all the beavers because of your gross negligence and incompetence. But yeah, these guys aren't quite done. I was going to say let's pause that. But that is going to be where we leave it. And look at this. Look at this. This fluid dump is ready to go pretty much. Just needs 2 more logs. And then we can start growing some trees, but that's going to be a next episode thing. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back in this series on Friday, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.